Hello and welcome back everybody to an analysis of the NLEX8E0 clear. If you're coming here from Dombo's channel, hello, I'm Iron Cobra. And if you're already from my channel and if you've heard of both of us, yeah, welcome back. Today we'll be breaking down our NLEX8 run, which we spent 65 hours on each and has been a big project of ours since the last year. Originally on EN, we have uploaded an incomplete NLEX8 run, which was incomplete. We didn't get the end solved. So during CN, when we ran on CN 6 months ago, we decided to get it, and we waited till the release of EN to release it. So one important thing is that even now for this clear, we wanted to maintain the respect of the original squad. We did not use any power crept units such as we left Quick and KOB instead of Golden Glow, Rock, or Ling, for example. One important thing is that this account is mad whale. So many potentials. Neural pot 5, Yen pot 5, Mudrug pot 5, Chalter pot 4, Calcit pot 6, Weedy pot 5. Yeah, the only one who doesn't really have potentials is Eunectus, and her potentials don't really matter that much. They would be nice, but in the end, we still get the dub. Mudrug pot 5 is especially important in this run, so let's get right started. So the opening here, originally we used gravel to clear up the lights on both sides, but then we realized we don't need to light the right side up early. And we subbed her out for, I believe, Neural. Myrtle here is first used face down to light up both the left and the right for when we need it eventually. And yeah, the opening was my part, and I'll show you right how it's done. So here's the opening setup. We have Nyan and Kefka here. And Chalter as the main DPS. Chalter is the main DPS because Arknights and the Crabs don't really have that much defense. Just spamming Chalter skills, even at E0, is way more than enough. Kafka's here to hold because I can't afford another unit here yet. Its DP is tight. And Yen is here because she is the tankiest E0 defender. Silences for heals. We deploy Calcit for further heals and to enable the use of Monster in case anything goes wrong. Over here, originally we had a defender because the idea is to control this choke point. We do not want any of the unit crabs or the Arknights going across all the way over here or down below all the way and around because that'll just kind of destroy the whole setup. We don't want them wreaking havoc. We want them all contained in one spot. Originally we had a defender, but we actually subbed it out for Weedy because we don't need the 3 block here. Weedy is great in the fact that she will stun with her skill every 6 seconds, which does interrupt the Arknight skills. She will also be used as the pusher to shift Bloodblades later. So now that the Blood Knight has spawned, we have a lot of whole other issues. He throws out his stuns repeatedly, so we place Kafka to both light up the right side and bait the stun. We can also see we use Shining to light this side up before Kafka takes the stun and gets retreated. For KOB here, it's important that KOB is placed instead of Click. While Click, it would be easier for Click to get up her skill and do more since her skill does way more damage, especially to single targets. These 2 casters will be for the Swordsman over here. While it is, I really wanted to get Click up, but unfortunately Click does not survive a stun, as you will see here. You can also see Weedy in action. No skill for you. So what is important is that KOB will live this stun. Click does not. Click dies. Because her max HP is lower. Even with Shining Healing, you can see KOB barely lives at this point. At that down there. That last hit, that's when Quick dies. So even though this doggo is a bit outdated nowadays, she had her great use here. We get ready to place Mudrock because she's the only one that can realistically handle the Blood Knight for a really extended amount of time. We have a pretty special split box where when we place Mudrock here, she'll be split in this tile between these Mudrock and the tile to our left, which we are about to place Eunectus in after Myrtle gets taken out. This split box is special because while it does keep these 2 trapped here, when the Bloodblades spawn later on, they will flow directly into the Blood Knight and healing him instead of getting stuck on Mudrock and killing Mudrock. Meanwhile, we still have the standard DPS on the left side, but Silence is going to have to get taken out soon. We need to get Click down fast, and we want to get her skill down because these swordsmen are about to make their move. We retreat Silence right as they decide to make their move to get the last heal on Weedy. Weedy cancels out the skill, and we place Click down because they are moving, and they are moving fast. Weedy gets another stun off, and at this point we know Chalter will kill the Candle Knight, so we take out Weedy for one more deployment slot. We use the deployment spot for Neural, and then we use Chalter's deployment spot for Monster. We just need to stall this out. Just stall it out. Nothing important. I'll skip 10 seconds. We take out Kaltzik because Monster died. And Nyan's skill and the light pop. The light pop's just for light later. Might as well use the DP now, not like we're gonna use it later. The Nyan skill to take out the crab because res. Arts damage 2 OP. And Click and KOB will get the job done. It is pretty close. Neural gets taken out right as these two kill it. It's important for Neural not to take any more damage because we do not want Shining to heal Neural. We want Shining to heal Eunectus. Once Shining skill runs out, Eunectus will start slowly dying, and that's why we need Silence up in 26 seconds. So when Silence comes back, we get Silence and Shining here, and now they can stably hold phase 1 here. As we set up for phase 2, I'll skip around to when that comes. Don't want to waste any of your time. So we have Neural down here, and we've repositioned Silence over here in favor of Kaltzik being able to place Monster on Eunectus' spot. So when the Blood Knight dies for the first time, a wave of 9 spawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for y'all. E0 can't handle 9 blades at once. Not right off their bat. Because as soon as he takes more than 5 or more, then he immediately returns back to phase 1. We can't take 9 blades all at once. Not right now, at least. So we let him go back to phase 1. We do protect Neural from taking too much damage. We want to avoid any mistakes here. Eventually we have Shiny taken out for Click here to deal more damage because we're not going to chip him to death forever. But as we move forward, we keep going. Here we now have a new setup. We have Weedy down here getting ready to push blades. The reason we have to kill him again here is it's pretty tight. Eunectus has to be retreated because we don't have the redeployed potential. Eunectus has to be retreated at a much earlier timing. We want her to retreat as soon as he enters into that phase 2 stance. This takes a while because Dombo spent 50 pauses trying to find the exact set of frames where Eunectus or Mudrock will chip him to death, have Shining here, and when he enters in phase 2. Is it here? I can't tell. Does no damage. A minute later, he enters in phase 2 and Eunectus is taken out. Now I did show you a frame here, but I want to explain what's going on first. When the blades start moving after he enters phase 2, after he attempts to transition into phase 2 for the second time, the blood blades do not come 9 at once. Not right off the bat, at least. There are 3 on the bottom and 1 on the top. Much easier to deal with. The way this plays out is we have Weedy push the first one, and then we'll Kafka the second set, and then push the last 2. This part is done. So the next part, there is a wave of 9. There's 8 at the bottom and 1 at the top. None of the first parts got through. He can take 4 blades healing up while still being able to transition into phase 2. And after this wave, we'll be able to have time he'll transition to phase 2. So if we weak 4, we have to take care of 5. How are we going to take care of 5? Well, we'll start off with pushing this first one with Weedy. 4 left to deal with. We quickly realize that this blade is going to make it to Neural before this blade, and this blade will end up healing. So now we can only leak in 3, and we have 6 to deal with. Well, we have 7 to deal with, but not for much longer. With Monster here, we're able to Kafka these rest of the blades, and Weedy's able to push 1 more before we leave. Now with the push, we can let 3 weak, we can let 3 good block by Nian, and this wave is cleared. You can see he is 1 blade away from healing. He is so close to max HP. Another wave, a wave of 9 spawns. Only the front runner is important. We Kafka the front runner. And right as all these blades come, there's so many. He enters phase 2. Right as this flood comes in, he enters phase 2. Now that this flood has come in, it doesn't matter if he heals the blades, he won't return to phase 1. And we have successfully entered phase 2. We've placed down casters to preemptively load up their skills for the upcoming swordsmen and Knights Moras. I can never pronounce those guys correctly. Because EN don't read. KOB and Click will deal with the first swordsman and Knight Morza. Those aren't an issue, although it is a little bit dicey because Nurl's defense is not high. It is important to have Shining and Silence consistently healing him, because Nurl almost gets two tapped. Luckily, Click and KOB are able to get this first Knight Morza off of Nurl very quickly. Now that we are in phase 2 though, Blood Knight is still at large. The only one able to tank a physical melee hit is Monster, who has a whopping 3,347 HP. And yeah, Eunectus is no longer able to hold it, so we'll just be rotating bodies. However, the stall does get a little bit easier in some aspects, because instead of slapping twice, he will slap once, summon blades once, and then stun. This actually, however, ruins Mudrock's cycle a little bit though. Mudrock will start slowly taking damage, because the math is very complicated, and I don't want to bore you all with that, but Mudrock slowly dies. So it's important that we have Mudrock Potential 5. Mudrock Potential 5 gives her first talent extra 2% HP from each shield heal, so Mudrock, instead of being able to survive 6 or so minutes, can survive 30 or so minutes, which is very huge. We don't want to have to recycle Mudrock here, because that requires a lot of bodies, which we cannot deal with at the moment. We have other problems to deal with. These swordsmen are very, very annoying, and as we push up, we end up swapping out KOB for Chalter. This isn't CM, so the defense still isn't too high, and Chalter with doesn't seem to be able to get that much damage off skill, but with skill does 680 and 880 damage. We use Click to start DPSing this guy. We want this guy dead as soon as possible, because we don't want Nurl to take that much damage. We see here, while we were rotating random bodies, we have Kafka and Weedy and Myrtle taking up the top. This Knight Morza is coming, but these two are already blocking an enemy. So what do? We notice Kafka's coming right as well, coming up, and Myrtle's there. Myrtle gets stunned, so you get blocked by Mudrock. So we'll Kafka these two guys right now so these two are asleep. They can no longer be blocked. So now Neural's blocking this guy. The fact that Neural is split box in the middle means Chalter's skill is able to get off massive damage. Let's see it. That's a lot of damage. 880 and 680, as I said before. And it's important that the Kafka holds this guy as long as possible. It's just enough for Chalter and Click to be able to kill this top guy, so this guy gets end up blocking again. We place Nian to act as the next body. And Click's job is done. We don't have E2 range. The skill doesn't extend her range. We're using skill 1, obviously. So it's just these swordsmen and this last Knight Morzas. That's going to be a problem. Swordsman dies. It's just these two Knight Morzas. And we just rush. We rush. Mudrock gets stunned. Nian's taking the hit. The Blood Wave will pass to Neural because Neural's blocking this guy. And Nian gets one shot, as with all the other units, so we must be able to immediately prepare a body for her. We know Monster's probably not going to come up in time, so we prepare Weedy instead. He does come up in time, but it is too late to change now. And with the slap, we place Weedy. We don't want the Blood Knight to move at all, because we want these blades to keep healing him, not get stuck on Mudrock. Weedy is getting attacked by blades, but Shining skill comes up to just the right timing. So many timings have to go right here. And with the heals, it's huge. We're gonna let Chalter get one more hit, maybe? These Chalter's hits are very, very important. Especially with the skill. And then we're gonna try and Kafka. Basically, we want this Weedy to stay alive here. But Weedy's push actually pushes the blade that she's blocked on backwards, and we're able to Kafka sleep that instead. As shown. Now that the blade is cancelled and this Night Morse is there, the load on the rest of the units are much looser, and this blade is allowed to go through, and Weedy... We're back on the Mudrock cycle. You can see Mudrock doesn't have full HP, but doesn't really matter right now, as we have killed all the regular enemies. The plan is to keep letting Bloodweights heal until we have a good timing to kill them. Now, the Bloodweight cycle here is that every 18 seconds, 2 will come out on the bottom, and every 6 seconds, 1 will come out on the top. Since this one is singled out, we can use a healer and Eunectus to kind of just solo this lane. Eunectus kills them fast enough for the next one to be spawning anyways. And these two, well, if you've seen any other strategy, you push them. Weedy, however, can only push 1 every 6 seconds or so with her 6 SP. So we're going to have to wait for a good timing to end up placing Weedy. Quake is the only one that can really do damage to the boss right now, as we are stalling with, we will throw every single body at it that we can. You can see Mudrock's looking a little bit less healthy, but she will live until the end. I promise you that. Weedy will push these 2 blades away after stalling her a little bit. And there's a little bit of a timing. Since he does summon his blades consistently every time, there's no need to really worry about if a unit that's blocking Blood Knight or not getting ready to block Blood Knight will pass through and block a blade instead and tear the whole run to shreds. There's a very special Kafka timing, so she comes back once every 16 seconds that I found. Right as these blades pass Calcit, if you deploy Kafka here, the blades will pass, and then Kafka will stop blocking. Will stop going invisible, and right as Mudrock gets stunned, the Blood Knight will be blocked on her instead. She'll take a hit, and then another body will come to cycle. In this case, it'll be Myrtle. Here shown. Gonna do the Kafka tech again. Right as they pass Calcit. And you get the idea. This slowly continues, and continues, and continues, and continues, and continues, and continues, and continues. Oh, that's a bit too far. But you can see that we finally get the clear screen after a while. And the Blood Knight dies to Click. This death was very, very important to us. It took so long. Mudrock is almost dead. She has went to the final phase of her very strong attempt at living the Blood Knight for so long, just only at E0. At a measly E0. Originally, we actually had some special other techs planned for Myrtle's no-block skill, being able to manipulate the blocking of the Blood Knight and the Blood Blades. We never ended up using that, unfortunately, because the Kafka timing is just way too overpowered. But we could use Elysium here, but Myrtle's cooler. Forever use Myrtle if you do use her as a regular account. She's cheaper to level up. You all know the story. Bro, I hate this skip 30 seconds feature. But as Eunectus kills the final Bloodblade, we see the mission accomplished screen, and there is a very large sense of relief. Some post-clear notes. This took us a really long time. I'd like to thank Kirby. He only goes by the name of Kirby. Not the actual the character, but Kirby, the username of the Chinese player who provides us with this E0 CN account with all these massive potentials. So thank you to the CN people who have brought us some great great abilities to clear things. These potentials are very important, and for letting us use this account and waste a ton of their sanity and practice plans. We actually did end up trying to simulate more damage. We ended up using Golden Glow a few times, but we decided to do this final clear with you all with Click and KOP. You can find Dombo's run, his edited run. I don't think we have the full version up because that is 30 minutes long. His edited run will be in the description below. And once again, if you're from there, this has been Iron Cobra signing off from a very, 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 very stressful win. But we do have the dub, and we do have Shiny thanking us at the end. CM will be a whole different beast to tackle, since we have upgraded HP, attack, and defense. And without the Celtic skill, the Blood Knight will one-shot monster. So yeah. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.